So in this video I will discuss about the property delegation in Kotlin. So there are some inbuilt delegates in Kotlin. Let's discuss about them. The first one is we are about to discuss is lazy. That is lazy. As the term describes itself, it is something that computed lazily or whenever required or on first access is computed, right? So for example, let's try to understand where we need this lazy. So let's suppose we have a class student, right? And a student class has a constructor that requires the name of the student, that is type of a string, right? And there is another class that is hostel, and this requires hostel name, so there should be a name of the hostel, and there should be a room number. What room number is located, so that is also it, right? And we can write an init method for this. Inside this we can write a println, and that println we can print I am hostel object, right? And inside that we can also write an init, and we can say println I am student object, right? So both are the different objects. And suppose student has a property, let's suppose there is a property for or where hostel, and let's say we have a hostel for this student, and we initialize that. And if this initializer requires hostel name, so let's say hostel name is XYG, and hostel room number is, let's suppose, 200, right? So the problem here is that if I try to print, let's suppose I am creating an instance of a student, so that is an student object, student, and this is student object. So when we create the student object requires, yes, the name of the student. Let's suppose say Dhyan, and Dhyan, actually when we create this student, it will call the initializer of hostel. Why? Because we are getting, so if we don't want to, even if we are not using this hostel, we already created I am a student, I am hostel. The first hostel is access, because hostel is created this property, and then calls its inits, and then it creates the host student object. The second is initable code. So but we don't want to create at the same time the hostel object as well. So the solution, or what we want when we want to create this object, we want hostel object create whenever we try to access this property hostel. So that is an overhead, and that can be a solution of lazy delegate. And that the solution for this problem. So let's say hostel type, and there is by keyword in Kotlin to use the delegates methods. So there's a lazy lambda, and we call this lazy block. Inside this lazy block, we will create the instance of this. And if we run this code again, now we only see I am a student. I am a student object, because we are not accessing this hostel or not using this. So actually, this evaluates or this computes the value. The value is computed or value is initialized upon its first access. So here, if you see, if I go in the second line and say student dot hostel, what was the hostel for this student? And let's suppose I want to print this statement as well. So let's suppose this one. And now if I execute the code, then you will see I am a student and I am hostel, because the first student is created, its init is called, then we try to access the hostel property, and hostel init will get called, right? So this was about the lazy lambda in Kotlin. So the benefit is, um, when we have such situations, so we don't want to take overhead of creating extra objects with the current object.